Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. What's going on, guys? Here, Jack here, hanging out in the parking lot, the ugly parking lot here. But I want to let you know what's going on this week. So, I had to miss a little bit of work this week because I got really sick with the stomach flu or some kind of stomach virus that was pretty nasty. So that was not fun at all. But I'm getting better there. I'm going to be returning back to work tomorrow. But also I didn't have any plans today because this was a planned day off because I got things going on with my car. And it's not broken down or anything, but I had an appointment today. This is the car. It's a Ford Fiesta 2012 and SES, and it's now known as a titanium if you bought a newer model. And what's been going on when I bought this car? I bought it in 2013, brand new, and I was real happy with it because it was a new car, and it had great gas mileage. It has really neat features on the inside of it, and of course, I never. This is my second car I've owned, and my first one was used, but this was my first new car, and I was excited about it. You know, I wanted a nice, reliable car, and good gas mileage, good commuter car, and that's what I was looking for when I bought the car. So, turns out what I got was transmission problems. And so I noticed almost right away after I bought the car that it vibrates when it accelerates. And so I mentioned it to him on the first week after I bought it. I mentioned that to him, that about how it acts when it accelerates. And they described it as being normal for this kind of car, because the way the car works is that it's actually a manual transmission. It's an automatic car, but it's a manual transmission. And what happens is they put a computer chip in there that shifts the transmission so it drives like an automatic. So I don't have to manually shift the gears. There's a computer chip that does it, but they told me because it's a different kind of transmission, that's how it works. Look at that sunset right now. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, because that's the way this transmission works, that's the vibrating is a normal characteristic for this car. So turns out that wasn't accurate. So I got a recall notice in the mail quite a while later that describing the problems that this car has. And so they did some work on it. It was like a recall warranty repair, and it's been in and out of the shop several times, long story short. So they replaced some input shaft seals. They replaced the clutch a couple of times, the input shaft seals several times. Long story short, nothing's helped. It still drives the same. It still vibrates. It's not really good. So one day I got a postcard in the mail from one of those lemon law attorneys, and I went ahead and hired him, because the postcard described all of the characteristics. I've had multiple breakdowns, multiple repairs, multiple transmission problems. So I went ahead and hired the lemon law attorney and proceeded with. So that was back in about February. And so it's today's August 25th. So it's been going on. I've heard some of these lemon law cases can settle in as little as 90 days, but this one went. Ford wasn't too eager to settle this one, and reason being is I used to be an Uber driver, and that put a lot of miles on this car, and I wish I never did it. It didn't pay crap. Well, it paid good at first until they lowered all the rates. If you follow Uber, Uber's crap. Anyway, if you're an Uber driver or you take Uber, it's a good deal if you're a passenger, but please tip your driver. If you're an Uber driver, dude, you're not making money. What are you doing? Add up your expenses. It seems like you're making money, but add up your expenses. You'll see that you're not. Anyway, I won't go into that too much. But that put a lot of miles on the car, and so the settlement was today. And Ford's argument is that, you know, sure, I had multiple repair attempts, but there's a lot of miles on the car. I drove the car a lot of miles, and one year in particular, I drove it about 50,000 miles in 1 year. And you know, an average driver drives about 15,000 miles, so that gives you an idea of how much driving I was doing on this car. So they said, well, you know, you drove 50,000 miles in a year, and it was driving just fine apparently. Well, it wasn't driving fine, but that's their argument, is that, you know, if I went to a jury trial, it would be hard to convince the jury that I have a lemon car when I drove it so many miles. And well, that would be a hard argument, wouldn't it? But you know, the whole time it vibrates, it stalls. One day it wouldn't accelerate hardly at all. It makes grinding, rattling noises. You know, a lot of parts have been tried to be repaired. So my opinion is, you know, I shouldn't have had to pay for a car that was sold to me with a bad transmission, and it's obviously a design issue and hasn't been fixed. So and they haven't been able to fix it despite multiple attempts. So what I was going for was a complete car buyback, where Ford would pay me back all of the money I ever paid into the car, and then I want to put that money towards a Toyota. And but what the result of it was, I got $8,500. They're not taking the car back, but I'm getting $8,500. That's about what I owe. It's a little bit more than what I owe on the loan left. So I'm going to pay off the loan, and I can get some trade-in value actually out of it still. So I'll see what I can get for trade-in value. So anyway, that was what happened today. I got the settlement done. So I'm going to take the money, I'm going to pay off the car, and from what I've seen online, I can get somewhere between $4,000 to $6,000 for a trade-in. So that's what I'm going to do, probably in the next 30 to 60 days. And I'll probably get a Toyota. Now, I wasn't sold on getting a Toyota because my first car, it was a used car. I bought it used, and it was a high mileage car too. But that was a money pit. That thing had lots and lots of problems, and it was constantly going to the shop. And it finally got to the point where the repairs were costing the same as a new car payment. So that's why I went out and bought a new car. But that was a Toyota Camry, a 96 Toyota Camry. But I did a lot of research on most reliable cars with the fewest problems, and year after year after year, it comes up Toyota Corolla. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Toyota, give them another shot. This time it'll be a new car instead of a used one. Maybe somebody wrecked the old one, and that, who knows what happened with that. But so I'll go ahead and get the Toyota. So that's what's going on. And so new adventures on the road are coming up. This car is going to be going away very soon. And a brand new Toyota Corolla is on the way. Now I'm really excited because they have the 2017 models are coming out, and it's the 50th anniversary of the Corolla. So they have a 50th anniversary Corolla Special Edition that I've got my eyes on. They're not in dealerships yet, but they're due within a couple of weeks. So that's probably what I'm going to end up getting. So that's what's going on here. So we're going to be hitting the road with a new car, new wheels, new adventures, and so that's what my plans were for this week. So I'm sorry we didn't get out to do any fun adventures this week, but coming soon. Next week, stay tuned. We'll do something, and I'll keep you informed on what's going on with the Corolla and the Ford. So signing out. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for new adventures. By the way, this apartment complex I know doesn't look nice on the outside, but once you come on the inside, it's a lot better, and it's very affordable. Not the nicest area in the world, but there we go. There's the pool. once you come in, it's nice and it's quiet. Palm trees. So anyway, stay tuned and see you next time. Stay tuned next week. We'll see what's going on when we hit the road. All right, see you next time.